Hey everybody, I'm Odin, and today we are going to be playing a little bit of Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. So this is a very old game, and it's extremely complicated, and I'm terrible at it, and yet I come back and play it very often. I never do very well, I never live very long, but it is a great game, and although it has been around for a long time, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be all that well known, and there's probably reasons for that, like the aforementioned fact that it's incredibly difficult and incredibly complex. But if you've never seen Cataclysm, then I'm hoping that this will kind of open your eyes to it. Maybe it's something you want to try. It is free, unless you want to grab the Steam version, which is not free, but it is the same. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like you want to support the ongoing development. And I used to play it on the free launcher that you get from their website, but I did grab it on Steam a while back once it became available. And this is the stable Steam version here. And basically, it is a zombie apocalypse survival game, and it was a big inspiration to games like Project Zomboid. So basically what we're going to do here is, I have a mod on, which is called Classic Zombies. See, when you normally play the game, the zombies can evolve and mutate, and there's all kinds of different zombies, and then there's weird sci-fi creatures and monsters, and it gets ridiculous. And I really like playing with just the regular classic zombies. So that's what we have going on here. So I created a world, and I used the name that it gave it, which was Colony right here. We're going to go to New Game, and we are going to make a custom character to get started. We have to choose our world first, so we're going to choose this one that I recently made with the Classic Zombies mod, which is called Colony. And so you can see Classic Zombies is right here at the bottom of the load order. And so that's going to once again get rid of all those extra sci-fi creatures and ridiculous mutated zombies and things, but that might be more to your liking to play it on default. So this is where you make your character. I usually go with the separate point pools here, multiple pools, so that's what we're going to do. So you can choose a scenario here, and there's different challenges and different places where you'll start in different situations. I like to just start with evacuee, because you start in an evacuation center, and so you have a place to return to when things start looking bad, which they always will, and so that's kind of nice, but I usually die before I ever get a chance to come back to the evacuation center. But that's the one we're going to go with. Choosing this scenario does not cost any points. As you can see, we do have a total of 8 points here. So if we go to profession, there's a very long list here of professions you can choose, and when you choose one, it'll show you any traits and skills and inventory items that you'll start with. And as you can see here, I'm just going to scroll. There are a billion of them. What I usually choose is lumberjack right here, and the reason is you start with some decent clothing, but more importantly, you start with a wood axe. And I really like starting with that axe. That's very nice. So you're a lumberjack, and you're okay. You felled trees before the world ended, and you suspect the undead aren't nearly as tough. And you'll start with a profession skill of athletics at a skill level of 2. So, also this profession costs 0 points, so that's nice. Now, over here on background, you can choose, well, certain traits that your character will have. The first one on the list, of course, is heroin dependence, which is not good. Really not good. And you'll have this background addiction of opiate withdrawal, so you'll have to find some opiates to stave off the withdrawal, so that's obviously not very fun. You don't necessarily, I don't know if you even have to choose a background, but I will usually try to find something that's not terrible. You'll notice, by the way, if you choose heroin dependence, you get 3 extra points to spend in your stats and traits and skills, because obviously it's a terrible thing. However, I'm thinking for this particular playthrough, I kind of like to choose camping, because it gives you the background trait of outdoorsman, it gives you some survival skill experience, some healthcare experience, which is very important, and food handling too. This is going to cost me 2 points though, that's the only thing, but I think it's worth it. So over here you can use the points to adjust your individual stats. So strength makes you more resistant to many diseases and poisons, and it makes actions which require brute force more effective. It gives you a bash damage bonus, so I'm going to go ahead and put 2 points into strength. Now dexterity enhances many actions which require finesse. It gives you a melee to hit bonus, which is important. a throwing penalty per target's dodge. You do get a ranged penalty, but I usually don't find myself using guns or other things very often. I'm going to put 2 points into that just so I get my melee to hit bonus up a little bit. Intelligence is really helpful for crafting, and perception, of course, is for detecting traps and noticing things. That's all. All of 4 of these are very important. But I'm probably just going to put 1 point here into intelligence. Now, if you go to traits, this will look very familiar to you if you've played Zomboid. So here you can choose positive and negative traits and have them all kind of balance out. That's the idea. I'm not going to choose any of these things. Instead, I'm going to go to skills. And what I want to do is we start with that axe, which is, you would think, a cutting weapon. And I'm pretty sure it is. I don't think it's a bashing weapon. So that could be something we put a skill point into. But melee, of course, is very, very important. And it'll cost me 1 point to upgrade melee by 2. So I'm going to do that. I think, let me look down here. I'm really not interested in the range skills. Crafting skills are important. And of course, again, everything is important here. But I think I want to put a point into healthcare. So that's going to give me 1 more point into that. We already had a boost to that from the camping background. And then I'm going to put 1 more into cutting weapons. And that means we have used our points. And then this final screen here is our description. You can choose your gender. I'm going to have just a random name created. And this just tells you all about your character. We're going to have a random starting location. It's going to be an evacuation center. And you just press tab, as it says down here, to finish your character. Are you sure? Yep. Alright, so here we are. So you can use different tile sets for the game, by the way. You can also play it in ASCII form, which I don't recommend. And this is the default tile set that comes in the Steam version, and I like it. It works pretty well. So you can use the mouse in this game, but not a lot. Most of the stuff you're going to do will be done with your keyboard. But you can mouse over things, and then you'll see in the top right, you get the mouse view. It'll tell you what you're looking at, which is very helpful. Other than that, you got all your information over here on the right sidebar. You can change, by the way, how zoomed in the sidebar is, how big the fonts are, all that kind of stuff. Now here's the big thing about the game. The keybinds. There's a million different keybinds, and it's impossible to remember them all. So when you forget, if you do shift, if you do the question mark, it'll show you here all these different bindings. So I'll be looking at that probably very often because I always forget things. But a very basic one is lowercase z zooms in, and capital Z zooms out. Alright, so I usually, when I'm inside a place, I'm usually about at this zoom level. And we're going to be moving around with the numpad here. So it looks all gray because it's dark. And as you can see when we mouse around, it says lighting over there in the top right, very dark. One thing you can do if you start with a smartphone, which this guy does, we can go into our inventory here, go to our smartphone, and activate, and choose turn on flashlight. And we got a little bit of light. So if you're trying to craft in the dark, that doesn't work. So it's very important to have sources of light. You can also open the curtains and windows if it's daytime to get some light as well. But of course that also means that you can be seen through the window, which is not great. So, as I said, we can move around here using the numpad. Now there are apparently some open windows, I think, because we've got some light going on. I'm going to turn off my smartphone flashlight right now just to save the battery. And if we go down here and I use C, I believe it is. No, not C, O to open. There we go, sorry. That opens that curtain, and as you can see, we've got some light in, and we can see outside. And if we zoom out, we can see pretty far. I'm just going to leave that open for now, because there's usually not any zombies around the evacuation shelter. So we got lockers over here, and you can, again, mouse over to see what's in them. You can also use G to pick up items, and it'll ask you where do you want to pick it up. So you'll press the corresponding direction on your numpad here. So over here we can see we've got an emergency blanket, some pamphlets, some bottles of water. I am going to take the water here. We're going to take all 2 of those, and we'll take these 2 protein rations. I'm just hitting the right arrow key, by the way, to take all of them. But if you press a specific number, you'll take that number. So then I'll press enter, and you can see over here you pick up the protein rations and you pick up the sealed clean water. Alright, so I do not see my axe. And did I not choose lumberjack is what I'm starting to wonder. It appears that I somehow did not choose lumberjack. I don't think I pressed enter on lumberjack. So we actually don't have a weapon, which is incredibly stupid. That's really bad. That's really bad. There's one good thing, though. We have a messenger bag, which is going to carry a lot of stuff, but we don't have a weapon. I can't believe I didn't choose lumberjack. So there's a couple ways we can get ourselves some kind of weapon here. For one, we could try smashing this bench here to break it apart into some wood. I'm going to see if I can do that with my bare hands. I might not be able to. So I'm going to press S to smash, and it's going to ask me where, and I'm going to press up. Alright, and we actually smashed the bench with a powerful shoulder check. And it gave us nut and bolt, 2 planks, scrap metal, and splintered wood. So that's good. We could, if I use capital W, oh no, that's where, lowercase w, this is the wheeled item screen. So you can wield things from your inventory, but also things from the ground. And if you look over here, the planks have a bash of 16. So I kind of want to wield a plank. So you wield your plank, and now you can see we have it in our hands. Now, if we wanted something better, we can go to the crafting menu, which is the ampersand, or shift 7. And we can go here and go to weapons. Anything that's white, we can craft. We have what we need. And this is the required stuff right here. Anything that is grayed out, we don't have the things to make it. At least not right now. So, a large wooden club seems like it's probably better than just a plank. The melee damage is 16, there's no to-hit bonus. The moves, that's just how long it takes you to attack. So that's a bash of 16. If we look at the plank again, go over here, it's got a bash of 16, but it's got a to-hit bonus of -1, so the club would be better. So I think we're going to craft that. Again, we go over here, large wooden club. All we need is a plank and a tool with cutting of 1 or more. So we either have a cutting tool in our inventory or it's on the ground near us. I don't even know what we're using to cut this, but that's fine with me. We're going to make that large wooden club. It says use which component. We have a plank on our person. I'm going to use that. So you craft large wooden club from memory. You wield your large wooden club, wielding large wooden club. All right. Nowhere near as good as an axe, but it'll have to do. What a horrible start. I can't believe I didn't choose lumberjack somehow. I don't know how that happened. All right. So just exploring the rest of the shelter here. Now we can also go down these stairs into the basement. You notice it's quite dark. So again, I'm going to go to my smartphone and activate the flashlight here. Alright, so the basement may or may not have some items in it. And like right here, there's a glass bottle sitting right here in this trash can. And then right here on the ground, there's a paper wrapper, an evacuation pamphlet, and 4 more items. I can check it with G. Don't need any of these things. Alright, and C does close doors. And this just tells you that you heard a sound. The sound was the door closing. Alright, so let's go and get killed. So if we press M, we're going to get the map. And luckily, we are not completely isolated in the middle of nowhere. You can, by the way, just make a living. Well, make a living. You can survive out in the wilderness if you want to. But I like going and scavenging things from civilization. As you can see to the south, we do have some houses. These may or may not be like FEMA camps or something, and those are usually infested with zombies, but so are the towns. Anywhere you go, you're going to find zombies. But we're going to head south and try to see what we can find. Let's go out this way. By the way, and you might be wondering, well, what's this? This is an NPC. So we can use capital C to talk to this person. And you can ask them for advice. You can ask them for quests and things like that. You can ask them to trade. I'm not going to do any of that. Alright. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. So we want to head south. Let me zoom out a little more. And we're just going to start heading south. Now, if we notice some sort of danger, some kind of enemy or monster or animal or whatever, it's going to stop us and tell us, because by default there's this thing called safe mode that's on. And it'll tell you how to ignore certain monsters and turn off safe mode if you want. But for right now, we'll just leave it as it is. And I'll zoom in a little more just so we can navigate these trees a little more easily here. And you'll notice our line of sight here. These areas where the color is kind of grayed out, that's where you cannot currently see. So let's work our way through here. That's a lot of trees. Okay. So let me check the map again. So now we are right here. We just got to keep going south, following this road. So let me zoom in zoom in a little more here. Okay, so right here, spotted black rat, 41 tiles to the southeast. And so it's also right here on this little mini-map. It's kind of hard to see because it's a kind of gray dot there. So we can press apostrophe to ignore that particular creature, and that's what we're going to do. I'm not too worried about the rat. Now we spotted another one, so we have to ignore that particular one if we want to, and I will. Now we spotted 4 black rats, so tons of rats, but I'm ignoring them. They're usually not going to come after you, at least not the rats anyway. So let's keep going. Now we've spotted a fat zombie. 33 to 60 tiles to the south, and there's another one too. And you can see those kind of flashing here on our mini-map. So I'm going to ignore them, but we're going to end up having to fight them. So a very important thing to remember about fighting zombies is you want to, if you can, have the zombie move on to some terrain that has a high movement cost. Like if you see here, the regular ground has a movement cost of 100 in the top right corner there. You see it up there. And if I go over this shrub, it has a move cost of 400. So if the zombie moves onto that tile, I'm going to be able to attack maybe a couple of times before they ever get to move because of the movement cost. So generally that's what you want to do. More black rats. Spotted more zombies, so this is not good. I might want to... I don't know if they've spotted me or not. They may have, but I'm going to try... Yeah, well this guy definitely spotted me. This is a fat zombie, as you can see in the top right. It's hostile. It can see me, but it moves slower than me. And those green upright bars to the left of the word fat zombie, that's its health, believe it or not. We're going to have to fight this one, because he's just going to follow us forever. So I'm going to set up in a spot where he's got to move on to some terrain that's higher than 100 on the move cost. I want this, because that's 400. So I'm going to wait here, and you wait by pressing 5 on the numpad. I can zoom out here. Oh wait, we've got the safe mode warning. So we're ignoring, we're pressing 5. Now he's a fat zombie, he moves slowly. So it takes me a couple of presses of waiting for him to move. Alright, so as he gets closer, we're going to see if he moves. We're gonna move here so that he basically has no choice but to move on to that shrub right here. And when he does, at some point, he didn't do it, so I'm going to move here. Now he's on it. I'm going to attack by just pressing towards him. Alright. You sweep the fat zombie for 10 damage and hit it in the arm. This would have been a lot better if I had an axe. Okay. You swing wildly and miss. This is not good. He's going to get an attack here soon. Alright, that was good. You send the fat zombie reeling for 20 damage, critical, and he got knocked back, which means he's going to have to move back onto here most likely, so I'm going to wait. There he is. Alright, we hit him. You sweep the fat zombie for 14 damage. We hit him for 5. And we got him for 13. Now he climbs to his feet. We hit him in the leg, and he's struggling to stand. We're actually getting real lucky here. We critted him again and knocked him back. He would have been dead by now if we had the axe. This is ridiculous. We missed. We missed. He clawed at us, but we dodged. And we got him. Now, in default mode, you have to smash the zombies' bodies to pulp. Otherwise, they're going to get back up eventually. Okay? But in classic zombies, they stay dead. But I could still smash the body apart if I wanted to by pressing S and then the direction. But then it says there's nothing there to smash. so it's not necessary. So we can take whatever we want off of the body if we wanted to, but there's not really anything here of any use. Alright, so I don't want to attract the other zombies right now, so I'm going to move into the underbrush here, and then keep going south so we can get to these houses down here. Okay, we spotted, there's 2 more zombies, and they are southwest. I'm ignoring them. We spotted yet another zombie to the south, so of course there's tons of them. And we're hearing things from over here, but it's probably rats. Oh, there's lots of zombies. Alright. You can see there's a car over here. Here's some kind of house. There's another one over here. I'm going to move back up this way. I think these are just rats that we're hearing. I have to keep ignoring the zombies that we keep seeing. Okay. This is just a regular zombie, and it can see us. So here we go again. Actually, this is tough. I'm gonna have to move over here and wait for this zombie to catch up. I don't want to be standing on something that makes me slow as well. There we go. Alright, 11 damage. 17. Now the zombie grabbed us. That's what this means. This little icon here. We are currently grabbed. Okay. We missed, and the zombie bites our torso. Our long sleeve shirt is cut. We're bleeding. Of course we are. And that's what this icon means right here. We missed again, and we got hit in the left leg. We critted him. I'm going to move up here. Crit it again. I'm going to wait. Hit him again. Oh, good. Here's another zombie right here. We're probably going to die. Alright, that zombie's dead. I'm going to move to the other side of this. I would like to do something about the bleeding, but I don't have anything to fix this problem. If I do capital N, I can look at my medical information here. It says 'tis but a scratch, so that usually means it will stop bleeding on its own. It's minor bleeding. I probably don't have to do anything about it. It's also important to note that over here I'm in minimal pain, so you got to keep an eye on that. Alright, so let's move down here, and then here, try to get that zombie to step onto that bush once again, or the underbrush. The brush is gone. You hear crunch, so apparently the zombie destroyed it. That's not good. So I'm going to walk this way, and then probably, let's see. I gotta find, what is the movement cost here? That's 400, that's not bad. So let me stand right there, there we go. Alright, 15 damage in the arm. 10 damage, now you hear the heartbeat, that means that we are, usually that means that we're getting tired, and you need to rest kind of thing, but we don't have time for that. Alright, we got grabbed and bitten. We got, now we're bleeding again. And we killed that one. So if we do quotation marks, oh no, that's the movement mode, I'm sorry, you do this /, we can wait a while and choose to wait until we catch our breath, but as we're waiting, we hear shuffling, so it's a good idea to stop catching our breath, because another zombie is coming. Ah, this is terrible, but this is how the game always goes, every single time. Let me look here again. Minor bleeding, so we should be okay. I'm gonna get out of here. Try to. Oh no, good. There's another zombie right here. So we're out of luck. This is a terrible weapon. An absolutely terrible weapon. And of course we're leaving a trail of blood, which is great. I wonder if I can get across this fence quickly. That's quick enough. So if I kind of lure this zombie to the fence is going to slow them down, but not very much. It's a movement cost of 150. May not be worth it. I'd really like this bleeding to stop. We're going to keep fleeing right now. Oh good, there's an entire horde of zombies to our south. So if we zoom out, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least zombies right here. And we're going to die, so who cares? Let's, and there's another one. Oh good, there's a million more. Yeah, take a look. Take a look. By the way, if you do if you do Shift V, it'll show you all the items that you could possibly see around you. I thought it showed you the enemies too. If you hit Tab, yeah, it shows you all the monsters that are within sight. These are all the monsters that are in sight right. You've got to be kidding me. Alright, well of course this would happen when I try to make a video, but actually this is the perfect video for this game because this is this game. Alright, I don't have time to smash this window and crawl through, I don't think. I mean, maybe I do. I'm gonna smash it. And we don't want to crawl through the broken glass, so we gotta smash it again. Oh man. I've got to attack here. Nope, now we're getting attacked by two at a time. The door is over there. And let's see, is the door locked? Of course the door is locked. We could try to bash it, but with this weapon we probably aren't going to have much luck. So I'm going to start swinging at this zombie. The zombies broke another window. I managed to kill that dude. Now I got to try to bash the door. I have no choice. It's partially broken so I can see through it, but there's another zombie on the other side because of course there is. I'm going to try to sidestep him. Nope, I've been grabbed. So I'm going to turn safe mode off because it's pointless right now. And we're dead. And you can choose to watch the last moments of your life here. As you can see, this is how it goes. And it says now you can press, you can watch this happen. Now I don't know why they haven't killed me yet, but you press space to accept your fate. And that was our dude, Raymond Stallings, and he's dead. He survived 22 minutes. Not a surprise. Really not a surprise. So the great thing is I didn't get to show you like looting and carrying things and crafting things, because of course I didn't get to, because I'm dead. But hopefully this gives you a little idea of what Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead is all about, and if this is something that you think you might like, I encourage you to check it out, because despite what it may look like, it can be very fun. But it can also be really depressing. That's the final activity log for when we died. And open the diary for the last time, no. And then here's any achievements that you might have gotten, along with conducts, scores. This tells you some stats and things. And we killed 1 fat zombie and 3 regular zombies. We had a kill count of 4. Yeah, so you and everyone who followed you are forgotten among the billions lost in the Cataclysm. Alright, so that's Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. Thank you for watching, I appreciate it. Please hit like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see y'all all in the next video.